All right, so here I am back again talking about my most favorite subject in the world, Vasyl Lomachenko. And I say that very much sarcastically. I'm sure that people that know me know that I really generally don't really like talking about Vasyl Lomachenko simply because of the fact that there's no more hyperbolic a fighter in the sport of boxing at this moment. So the talk right now is about Lomachenko is calling out Gervonta Davis, and Tank Davis is ducking him, and you know, Tank doesn't want any parts of him, and this and that. And I thought it was pretty funny. I guess Floyd Mayweather responded talking about like, all these guys are saying Lomachenko is pound for pound. He should move up and fight Mikey Garcia. I thought that was pretty amusing. He didn't even say fight Tank Davis. I don't know, man. Maybe Davis is ducking him, but that's besides the point. Why is Vasyl Lomachenko calling out Gervonta Davis? Why is he not calling out the other champions? Why is he not calling out the WBA champion Alberto Machado, who knocked out Jezreel Corrales, another fighter that he didn't mention by name ever? Why isn't he calling out Kenichi Ogawa, the IBF champion, the guy that just won Davis's formerly vacated belt, the one that Davis lost on the scales when he fought against Francisco Fonseca? Matter of fact, why is Lomachenko calling out Davis in the first place with regards to, fighting at 130 pounds if Davis can't even make the shit? If he can't make the weight, Lomachenko himself said that he really doesn't give himself that much credit for beating Guillermo Rigondeaux, because Rigondeaux is a super bantamweight. So now he's going to call out a lightweight to drain himself down to 130 in order to fight him. And fair enough, Davis is saying that, or at the very least he was recently hinting at the fact that he was going to go to Japan and fight Ogawa. I think primarily just kind of throwing some shade at Tevin Farmer, since Farmer lost to Ogawa, and Farmer and all his team and the whole of Philadelphia, no disrespect to Philadelphia, were talking shit about Davis and how he didn't want anything to do with Farmer. But why isn't Lomachenko calling out Ogawa? He's talking about he wants to fight the best, beat the best. He doesn't want credit for fighting super bantamweights. He wants credit for fighting the best fighters of his own size. So why isn't he calling out Ogawa? Why isn't he calling out the WBC champion, Miguel Berchelt, the man who was his mandatory? I don't know how people fucking forget this bullshit. Miguel Berchelt was Vasyl Lomachenko's WBO mandatory. He was Roman Martinez's mandatory before that. Roman Martinez pulled out of their fight with a week's notice left, and Berchelt was still the mandatory. And then Lomachenko goes on and doesn't fight Berchelt. He eventually winds up fighting Nicholas Walters, who wasn't his mandatory. And Miguel Berchelt is basically, sitting on the shelf like, am I going to get my shot? Am I going to get my shot? Am I going to How long is this motherfucker supposed to wait for Vasyl Lomachenko and Top Rank and the WBO to actually enforce this shit? So he said, fuck it. I'm going to go elsewhere with my talents. I'm going to South... No, he's not going to South Beach. He went over and fought Francisco Vargas, the then WBC champion. Francisco Vargas, who actually got a draw against Orlando Salido. He didn't get his ass kicked by him. He didn't get fucking schooled by him and then have to have a narrative crafted for him about phony-ass low blows. There was a couple of low blows, yeah, but it wasn't like 100 as though the way that fucking Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman are constantly on their fucking knees about. And Miguel Berchelt handled Vargas. He handled him with ease. He made Vargas look like a shot fighter. People thought Vargas was fucking shot. And, he definitely proved that wrong, considering the fact that he literally just boxed Stephen Smith's ear off. And not only that, but, there's a lot of talk nowadays about, winning with a broken hand and all that. Lomachenko saying that, I fought with a broken hand when he fought Jonathan Peter Pino. Well, Berchelt fought with a broken hand when he fought against Takashi Miura, who's much better than Peter Pino. And speaking of Peter Pino, Berchelt stopped Peter Pino in the 4th round, leaving him to be carried out on a stretcher. And Peter Pino hasn't fought since then. So, yeah. Where's the call out of Burchell? Where's the offer made to Burchell? Yeah, no, but Gervonta Davis is connected with Floyd Mayweather, and so we're gonna call him out and get your name connected with Floyd once again. This is, it's deja vu all over again, man. Just like with the whole thing with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is the allegorical Floyd Mayweather to Vasyl Lomachenko's Manny Pacquiao. They're going to use his name repeatedly, say that, Lomachenko would knock Garcia out. Garcia's a chump in comparison to Lomachenko. He'd probably quit. He'd get no mas. And just like for years they carried on with that shit about Mayweather and Pacquiao. They're going to do the same thing with Lomachenko and Garcia, and they're not going to make any attempt whatsoever to make a fight between the two of them. Bob Arum is not going to let a former client of his, a former employee of his, essentially, like Mikey Garcia, get one over on him by spoiling his golden goose in Vasyl Lomachenko. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just like he held that grudge against Rigondeaux, and, it caused him to make it so that Lomachenko would be able to profit in the end, and he'd be able to profit in the end off of Rigondeaux's name by Lomachenko beating him and beating him with ease. He's not gonna allow for Garcia to upend him, not unlike what he just did with Rigondeaux, and frankly even with Nicholas Walters. Albeit at least the Walters fight, it wasn't as easy to call as the Rigondeaux thing. I saw the Rigondeaux thing coming a mile a fucking way. But that's it, man. Lomachenko, come on, man. People. I don't get how people rate him the number one at 130. I mean, I do kind of get it because they're kind of hypnotized by, like, oh my god, the eye test and all that bullshit, but. Who actually has the wins at the weight class? Burchell has the fucking wins at 130. Over 130 pounders. Over proven 130 pounders. Over guys that have proven themselves against elite opposition. At 130 pounds. Not Nicholas Walters, he knocked out Nonito Donaire. There's Nonito Donaire again. Like, apparently if you fucking beat Nonito Donaire, you're the best shit ever. Like, Rigondeaux, oh my god, he beat Nonito Donaire. Holy fuck! Nicholas Walters beating it's insane, man. And then Jason Sosa, of course, who just lost to the fossilized remains of whatever's left of Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yeah. Oh my god. That's an incredible run at super featherweight for you, Vasyl. I think Lomachenko's a very talented fighter. I just want to see it backed up, man. I just want to see it backed up. He's somewhat backing it up, but back it up against the guys that I fucking named. Backing it up against your fellow champions, for a guy that's being kind of ballied about as this amazing fighter that's so dominant in the divisions that he fights in. He doesn't seem to be dominating all of the sanctioning bodies. It seems like he's just dominating the WBO and whomever decides to play by Top Rank's rules in order to fight Lomachenko for the payday. Like Walters, Mariaga, and Rigondeaux. And Sosa, incidentally. But that's all for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.